All right, we're gonna call our committee of the whole meeting to order. Let us stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We are going to have a roll call.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Dr. Tasman Morales,
Present.
Board Member Dr. Ham, Board Member Lawrence Ham. Here. Sorry. President Amanda Johnson,
Present.
Vice President Beverly Harris,
Present.
Board Member Joe Neal,
Present.
Board Member Lorraine Lavender Sands, Present. Treasurer William Riley, absent. Board Member Ken Washington, absent.
And yet,
Dr.
Miss Betty.
Okay. Board Member Betty McLaren.
Oh, I heard her.
Okay.
All right, roll call is completed. We are going to call for a report from Chair Betty McLaren for DCIU.
Good evening. DCIU is up and running, absolutely. You know about the child care. They've been working with the facilities for Marple and Fallcroft. They're still working. They will start another project at Fallcroft once they're completed. It may be simultaneously with Marple. Any citizen interested, they do have the LPN program, and there's admissions twice a year. You could have your LPN license in 12 months. If you're interested, I think you should check it out. You could go on their website, you could call DCIU. We will be, Pennsylvania School Board Association will have their conference at Kalahari Resorts and the Poconos. Some of the board members as well as the superintendent will be attending. That ends my report. I know there are other things going on, but I see this in the legislature.
All right, we'll have the legislative report from Dr. Morales.
So we still do not have a budget. At this point, it's considered an impasse because it's so delayed. And
Does she have that mic?
Mike.
Yeah, give her the mic, because she was soft voice.
can you hear me better?
Yes.
So we still don't have a state budget. At this point, it's considered an impasse because it's so delayed. And the reason why this is important for Chester Upland School District and all the districts in the state of Pennsylvania is because if you remember, we had federal dollars that had been frozen that have since been released, but because we don't have a passed budget in the state, we can't even receive those funds because it requires us to have a state approved budget. So those federal funds as well as our state funds are not flowing at the moment. It's a few things that's holding the budget up, but the main thing is Skilled Games and SEPTA was, but SEPTA is no longer what's holding the budget up. Skilled Games is something that is going back and forth between both the House and the Senate. It's an unregulated space, so the Skilled Games are those little slot machines that are now inside of like corner stores, and like if you go upstate, they in the Butters and the Sheets and stuff like that, and they are not regulated, and right now they're not being taxed, and we need another source of revenue, and so the goal is to have them regulated and taxed, but there's disagreement on where those taxes should be allocated. So that's the issue. We don't have a permanent Secretary of Education. We thought we would have one at this moment, but Dr. Carrie Rowe is still an acting secretary. We do believe that her nomination will advance, but at the moment, it seems to be being used as collateral for budget negotiations. It's ridiculous. And on a legislative space, as far as curriculum and instruction, these are the bills that are in the House. They have a bill to create a free voluntary statewide K-5 supplemental math program that's coming out of the House. Out of the Senate is a new high school biology unit on early human life. And the way that I wrote that in there is it doesn't even encompass what they're trying to do there. They want children to learn about the effects of alcohol and drugs on a fetus while it's in the womb. Not sure. But student supports in special education is tightening of truancy laws that require parent notification after 3 unexcused absences and increased accountability for cyber charter attendance. This is specifically targeting one charter school, one cyber charter school that is refusing to have their students come on camera and be present, as per another piece of legislation that was passed last year. Health and wellness. The House has a bill to fund schools who purchase food that is homegrown in Pennsylvania, and also schools that have an emphasis on cooking from scratch. So maybe that would be a good opportunity to bring back home economics into the school and let the babies start cooking their food for lunch or whatever. And then we have a cell phone ban. And I know that this becomes an issue for parents, but it is also a very big issue for schools and the inability to properly educate the children. And so while it is not law right now, I'm sure that this will pass and it will become law. And so we just need the support of parents to understand that if you bring your baby to school with a $400 phone, make sure you don't mind that $400 phone being locked away somewhere for the entirety of the day, because it's going to be for the entire school day that the phones will have to be locked away. The Senate is trying to pass a bill 982 called Johnny's Law to expand anti-bullying requirements to social media, and that parents will have to be notified within 24 hours of an incident. This is it still needs some framing because we're not sure if the social media inclusion is just school hours or if it's anything that happens after school or if it's just bullying in entirety from a student that's within the district. So they still have some things to work on with that. Governance and finance propose elimination of school property taxes and replacing that with revenue or local and state, local income and sales tax. This is an equity thing. So when we talk about educational equity, we often look at it from the lens of lower wealth school districts needing more funding, but we never look at it from the other way, seeing that just because you live in a more affluent neighborhood doesn't mean you should be penalized by having to pay more into your school district for your child's education, because in both spaces it's public education, and as such, the state and the public should be paying equally into that bucket. So the idea is that having it replaced with local income tax instead of income tax means a larger portion of people are paying into that instead of just homeowners. School choice vouchers, we don't really need to say much about that. We know what it is. And the establishment of education savings accounts for students, and the bottom 15% is who those vouchers would extend to.
I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said about 15%?
Students that are performing in the lower 15% will have the advantage of being use of this new seed money for vouchers. So that's my
I want to
report.
say add something to what you said about the phones. There are districts that are currently doing that. They bag their phones, and they do set up a way that the parent can call the school and the message can get to the student. So it's not like they would not have a way or a means to contact their parent or their student. But it's a safety issue for the school.
I mean, it is.
Absolutely.
I went to school and I didn't have a cell phone none of my years in high school. Not high school, not middle school.
And statistics show that there's been a lot of brawls that come from the outside because of those phones.
So it can be done. Cell phones are not necessary to communicate in school, but I understand why there is a need to have them too.
All right, thank you for your reports. That will actually conclude our meeting for today.
Wait, before you, so they're not giving presentations and we can't ask questions either.
If they're not,
I guess we can.
I guess we get it, I mean.
I just have one it's just a question about the, Perkins. It's, A3 to A7.
Is somebody available to address the Perkins?
A3 to A7.
It's, regarding the career and technical students and cosmetology. I guess this is the CTE
The
program.
agenda items, A3 to A7. I'm sorry.
On the agenda.
So I didn't ask the question yet, but the question I was going to ask, are these new organizations that are available to the students that weren't available to them in the past? Or
No.
Okay,
They're existing programs.
okay, that's all.
Can you
That's
repeat
all.
that for the camera? What she just said?
That she said they weren't in the past.
Yeah, I know that they can, yeah.
Dr. Parker's gonna come to the mic.
Oh, okay.
She can give one question.
My question was just, I wanted to understand if these were new offerings to the students or if they had been offered to them in the past. I do see the Future Business Leaders of America and things like that, but I didn't know that if we already had those established in the district or if they're new.
Yeah, they are existing programs or additions to current programs that we have. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Dr. Parker.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, we're going to conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.